Hello everyone, Sunton.2 and welcome to another History of Mods, this time on OpenBlocks. We're going to be going through 1.6.4 to 1.12.2, just covering any of the items that were added, anything removed, any of the changes possibly, and yeah. So obviously if you're aware of it, it's a utility mod, and many of them obviously are very useful, or very intriguing. From the chair to the ladder, the building guide, the elevator, healer, target, flag, tank, bear trap, cannon. Book obviously is detailing most of this stuff in the 1.6.4 version. Block breaker, buttons, sponge, village finder, XP bottler, skyblock, XP, luggage, many different types of blocks and things. So we'll go to obviously the 1.7 version because I'm using the most latest 1.6.4 for the most part. If we go through just some of the changelogs, you can get a bit of a sense of most of the tweaking and benefits to some of the existing items. Things like graves, peripheral integration, trophies, keyboard compatibility with the book, a few other additions such as the guide and paint mixer, a bunch of fixes, scaffolding, maps possibly, which may still exist and may be removed, I'm not sure. Paintbrushes, getting additional benefits. Building guide differences. Rotating elevator. Racer, a bunch of other bits and pieces. Which obviously are in later versions they'll be covering, of course. So yeah, which we'll do that now. Which you can see most of the additional benefits here, obviously, such as the rotating elevator now, scaffolding, enhanced building guide, regular building guide, with the golden egg, bunch of the other common ones. And obviously, probably a few more of the same, probably a few differences. Got the eraser, metal bar, which I don't remember what we use about release. And yeah, so a few additional benefits, but mostly still a lot of these. Obviously. Now on to 1.10. So we've got the first version of 1.10.2, which pretty much just seems to be an alpha, porting over most of the stuff in the latest 1.7.10. So nothing really too much to cover here, but I thought I'd show just in case if there is any subtle differences I've missed, to show it visually at least. If we just look through the changelogs of each of these, you can pretty much tell obviously it was pretty much just a bunch of fixes going between 1.10 and 1.11. Other than that, in terms of just items or blocks, it pretty much just seems like the big wooden button seems to be the case, besides a few tweaks to certain blocks and not just bug fixing. Oops, I just repeated that one. As you can see there, big wooden button, and the way certain blocks act, and so on. Should look fairly similar. There probably might have been additional things, but I don't know. good little aspect there, but most of it seems like just a bunch of fixes or refinements or porting or such like that. For the earliest 1.11 version, it seems obviously a fair amount was ported over, not everything, but then again this was in between the 1.11 and 1.10, as you can see the dates here, obviously if you compare it to the 1.10 version, and obviously it's just a bunch of other fixes. I don't think there's any additional blocks or otherwise, just fixes, balancing, improvements to certain items and such. So we won't cover these too much, but I will just go to the next version and see in that what was put into the latest 1.11 just in case. And yeah, it seems like probably most of it is the same, just happens to be just fixing things for 1.11. So I'd say if you wanted to have access to most of them before 1.12, definitely go for the 1.10.2 version rather than the 1.11. Okay, and the earliest 1.12 is pretty much just, again, obviously another port. Obviously it's most likely taking off of the 1.10 version rather than the 1.11 with a lot of the features here. But as you go along the change logs, there is at least a few other additional things. At least I think it's in this update. Yep. With glyphs and machines, and thermal foundation sort of support, magnet related, and otherwise there is, I think, the big wooden button and other certain stuff that were in the 1.10 or 1.11 that do actually apply here. So we'll just cover that real quick and then we'll end off. And finally we end on the glyphs and otherwise, eventually added, and obviously there was a bunch of small tweaks, and the thermal foundation support with the essence of knowledge, which you don't know if we ever possible. No, okay, so that's different again. I don't have thermal foundations stored, which I might do real quick. But otherwise, we'll end off on the 1.5.2 version since, well, technically not something I'd want to cover, since I got it from a modern post site and not exactly recommended. I thought I'd cover it anyway, since technically it is a valid part of the mod's beginning, prior to just obviously showing the 1.6.4 and everything added in the most recent version for 1.6.4, so we'll cover that after this. And obviously the essence of knowledge is pretty much kind of like, I'm assuming, liquid XP in a way, that obviously OpenBlocks does have as well. And you can obviously see the tank support as well there. Yeah, so I'm assuming it would be liquid XP and essence of knowledge support for some of these. But yeah, so now on to the 1.5.2 version. And obviously this is it. I don't know how long ago, how early it was, this version, but I'm assuming it might have been one of the first, or one of the middle sort of eras of the mod's beginnings on 1.5.2, since I don't think there was one for 1.4.7, and otherwise I couldn't find anything, but for the most part it's pretty much OpenBlocks, from obviously a ton of utilities in the beginning to even more great ideas eventually, but then obviously a bunch of fixes, additional porting, and so on, and obviously no 1.14 version at the moment, but that'll probably come eventually, or maybe even 1.15, depending on how things go. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.